Hello. So there's another installment of the Pastor to Pastor. I haven't been doing a lot because nobody's really looking at it right now. So kind of waiting for a little bit of um, I don't know, interest, I guess. And it may be because pastors haven't found this site yet. But I just wanted to talk about a little bit about um, R&R. All of us as pastors need R&R, and not just lay back and not do anything, but do some things that you like to do, or maybe just some things to help somebody else. Physical work. I'm going to show you some of the things that I'm doing as my physical work. I gotta turn this thing around and show you. Well, you can see where I'm working in the woods, and just take that in for a moment. Just kind of soak it in. Look at this scenery, big tall trees, and look at this ash tree that fell down. It's quite a long ash tree. The stump is right there, and I've already cut up one of them. The tree didn't last too long. I used a chainsaw, of course, but just as you look at this scenery, just kind of take a break, rest a little bit. Jesus rested. He went into the wilderness. I guess you could call this wilderness. And he rested. And he took a break from the ministry. And if you don't do that, you're going to wear yourself out. You're going to get to a place where you aren't going to be much good for anybody. Because if you wear out and get yourself to a place of burnout, which is unfortunately what a lot of pastors are in, is burnout. And some of those signs of burnout are you don't care anymore. You get irritated at people a little easier. You'll find yourself snapping at some of your congregants, your members, and maybe your board members who ask you some questions. I know I got there a few times in the 30-some years that I pastored, and got to the place where somebody'd ask a simple question, and I would just get upset that they even asked the question. And you'll get that. You'll get people who will ask questions like, "What do you do all day?" That's a big one. And you got to be political. You got to be able to answer that question without flying off the handle. If you start flying off the handle, that's a sure sign that you're in burnout. And when you get to the place where you're just tired, you don't really want to go in anymore. You heard that joke, I think it was Smalley, that said that this guy was didn't want to get up off the bed, and the wife is telling him, "Well, you gotta go to church. You gotta get up, gotta get motivated." And he says, "I don't want to. The people don't like me. I don't like the church. It's boring," and all these different things he was listing off. And she said, "But honey, you're the pastor." And that's a clear indication of burnout. And So if you're in that situation, really you should have taken some time off way earlier than what you did. You should find a place that you can go. There's a lot of places that don't charge you anything. I know in Wisconsin we have a place that ministers to pastors, and they want to give you a place to go. And so if you're in Wisconsin, then certainly you can look it up. There's also ministries in many of the different states, some outside where you're at, which is probably a good thing. Go to another state. Take a few days, a week, even 2 weeks. Some churches give what they call sabbaticals. Well, I never really got one, and the church really didn't push it either. A church should really actually push that. Even when a pastor doesn't want to take some time off, that the church should say you're going to, because the church benefits from you being rested and relaxed. There may be some conferences, something that you want to go to where other pastors are going, and those are good. Those are great to go to. But whatever you do, go and take a break. Do some minor work. You don't have to cut a tree down and cut it up unless you burn firewood, and then you might want to do that. But you want to go somewhere where you can relax, do some fishing, maybe do a little bit of work like clean up your car, vacuum it out, wash it, give it a good once over. Something you probably don't do. And if you're like me, your car collects everything. It becomes a part of your office, and maybe even part of a garbage collection. Clean it out. Do some things you haven't done around your house. Some weeding, some cleanup, some things that you've been wanting to do for ages but haven't done. These are the things that will help you stay healthy in the ministry, and will help people respect you as well. When they come into your car, if you need to give them a ride or whatever, they're not going to see a bunch of junk on the floor. The car's going to be clean. You might get somebody that'll say, "Oh, wow, pretty nice car. What have you been doing with all your time? Just cleaning your car up?" And you have to tell them. You have to explain to them that, hey, Jesus took time off, and I would say that I need to take time off too sometimes. And they'll appreciate that you took the time off, because again, you're going to be a lot more refreshed, energized. When I came back from time off, people would remark, "Wow, your sermons are a little more energy behind them. You're giving some new material. You seem more relaxed." That's what you want to be, and the people will like it, and they'll want to know what you did. Well, tell them, I took some time off. I went and did some things. Again, nobody can force you to do it. You got to do it. Put it on your calendar. Don't wait till you have time to do it, because you'll never have time to do it. Put it on your calendar ahead of time. Tell the wife, the kids, we're going, and we're going to take some time off. I'll tell you what, one of the greatest places that we went was in South Dakota and the Rushmore area, and the Rapid City, Rushmore area. And I'll tell you what, even though it's kind of hokey, Wall Drug is a great place to visit. It's a place that they have a lot of strange things in there, but it's just a place to kind of not have any expectations, and it's just the kids like it. They just kind of get thrilled over some of the things that are, it's again very hokey, but worth going to see. But the Rapids area has a lot to offer. Mount Rushmore is a great site. If you haven't seen it, go there. The people are so friendly and nice, and you know, we went back there several times when I was in ministry, and enjoyed it immensely. So just some ideas that you can do. So that's about all I want to talk about now. And again, here I'll show you what I'm working in. This is my world right now. Of course, I'm retired or semi-retired, and so I get to do this, and I get to come out here and spend some time and enjoy the outdoors. Well, God bless, and take care in your ministry.